use it. I will not be offended if you tell me it sucks ass.
What, your idea?
Yeah.
I would never tell you that.
Hello and good evening. We're going to be jumping into Discord and we're going to be working today on a storytelling group. So that's the objective today. We're probably going to get started on that in a few minutes. So we'll just have some miscellaneous discussion before that.
It's like
Changes
300
dr-
miles.
I would say it changes drastically how fast you drive.
Yeah. About 280, 300-ish miles.
An hour?
No, total. She'd teleport that far and yell at me for lying. So therefore, I am not lying.
I'd also like to think Alec would beat you up for me if you lied to me.
He would not. He doesn't even like to hurt bugs.
Okay, he would lovingly embrace you and say no.
Yes, he would.
Really like that too. No.
He's already done that to me once today. When I was like, let's buy more Easter candy. And then he goes, no.
No.
All right. Is everyone here now for the writing fan fiction bookie thingy?
I'm just here to hang out.
That's cool too.
You're more than welcome. I'm here to follow Mike's lead.
Yep.
I'm here to get
Because,
upset in PvP.
So what I wanted to do, if you guys are interested, is come together and talk about some creative writing, some stories that we could probably do together. Um, maybe even assemble like a book of short stories kind of thing. So I think it'd be great if we could pull together a list, like talk about individual stories that we might write for a possible short story book, and then I'd also like to explore the possibility of creating one story together between all of us that would take place in the world between our different characters or something like that. That's kind of the idea. So I wanted to start just kind of to see what you guys had for ideas and if you thought the idea would be, if you liked the idea or, um, if you're more of a writer, more of an artist, more of a, what kind of stuff you like to do. So anyway, I figure we start a little bit with that.
well, I'm
Carter, I know
down.
you. I know Carter's done a lot of writing already. So.
And art, all that art on the character sheet I sent you, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really thought of anything for the
Ooh,
period.
hold up, hold up. I gotta raise your volume. Okay, I can hear you now.
I haven't really done anything for the time that we're writing about. So it's gonna be a like I have one story right now that's not in the old Republic era, so that's not gonna work.
What era do you have it in?
Uh, let's see. I have one Star Wars uh story that I'm currently writing about, but it takes place during time period right before the prequels.
Okay.
So
There's
it's in a
nothing wrong with that, storyline either. It wouldn't necessarily fit much in our maybe collective story, but just as a standalone, story that's part of the group effort, it certainly makes sense. So it fits with the theme for sure. Yeah.
it doesn't. The only way that I can really connect is if I had our characters kill off Yadira Band, and then yeah, because that's the only way that would actually tie into the story that I'm writing. Because because my story basically takes place in where she gets killed, and then extends.
Yeah, that's okay though. I want. I'd like us to create a story that takes place in one spot, but then I also want just other standalone stories. Like, I don't know if you guys have read the short story books that Star Wars has put out, from a certain point of view, or for the second one, I can't remember what it
Oh,
was called.
yes.
Yeah, I haven't read them.
You know, those are great little, like, they were just little short stories. I mean, they they happen to mostly be around things that were about A New Hope or um, Empire Strikes Back, but you know, you could broaden that out. You could make it more about, okay, well, it's a little bit about this or a little bit about that, or just Star Wars in general. You know, it's we don't have to have such a tight theme. So
Right.
I would like to, you know, collect what we're writing and what we're putting together on a shared Google Drive. I tested it already with Carter, and it works okay. So if you guys would send me a private message with your email address, it's on Gmail. So if you have a Gmail address, that works best. But you know, Gmail will send you a share link to any email. So
Okay.
it'll give us a place where we can upload stories, and we can actually go through and edit people's stories, so we can kind of be, you know, reviewers and editors, make suggestions, things like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. And you can also read about others' characters and whatnot. Like, I know
Yeah.
Mike has something up about his characters and his legacy, and I've got a couple of my characters' bios and whatnot thrown up as well. So if you read those and any of them like vibe with you or whatnot, and you're like, oh, I think Ella Jinx would go great with my Sith. I want to write something with them together or whatnot. You can just see what rustles your jimmies or whatnot.
yeah, I mean, the stories I put out so far are very broad strokes. I don't have a whole lot of um, detailed stories for them yet, so just kind of put out general descriptors.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a start so far. So and Carter has a lot more detail. She's written more.
I have been
considerably,
doing this
so
as a hobby,
yeah,
at least writing anything since I was like 12.
yeah.
Yeah. I've got like a 230 something thousand word Kotfi fic on AO3.
That's
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure to rope her in for the group, because
2000 word. Wait, you said 2000s or something? Wait, how much did you say again?
2000. Well, I can pull the exact number in a hot minute. It's longer than most of the Harry Potter books.
it's a lot. I've read a little bit of it. I haven't read the whole thing yet.
Thank
Oh,
God I'm illiterate.
it's okay. I haven't even made Alec read it.
I just made this person /stuck.
I have one story that's 24,000 right now. That's the one that I was talking about. Then
Still a decent amount. Like mine, I've written over the course of like 2.5 years, so it is a slow going process.
Yeah, my longer running stories I have aren't Star Wars based. They're from other genres, but you know.
I'm sorry, it's 2,500 or 2,055,000 words. I can't do math. It's 255,000 words.
yeah, that's a lot more than 2000. Yeah.
I, I I know how to do math. It's just right now I can't.
Okay, so send the email to you, right, Fuzzy Ferret?
Yeah, just
Or
you should be able to right click on my name and click.
message. Yeah. It just has my real name in the email. That's all.
Yeah. What do you call it? How do you do? I don't know. I can't remember how to do it.
You could also create like a spoof email and link it to the original Gmail account. Like my email says Carter Ash Official. I am not Carter. My last name is not Ash, but that's my screen name, so I created an email just for it. So if you feel like you can keep track of 2 emails, I recommend doing that. So not everyone knows that you are really Eugene Fitzherbert,
Yeah,
if that is your real name.
I can't remember if. I mean, I know I stick the email address in for sharing, but I don't know if it can be seen by everyone or not.
Whatever the name is on your Gmail will show up. Like yours shows up as Michael in your last name. I know your last name, but I'm not going to share it in front of everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. And I also use my screen name email as my
Oh yeah, you're right. It does show it up if you do edits and things like that. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, certainly whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, obviously, if it's free to just go create a Gmail account, so you could just make one with, a fake name just for this. If you'd rather not use a real name address.
You could make your name Johnson & Johnson Baby Oil, or
Yeah.
I love dogs, #42.
No, I'm not talking about what the email name itself says. That says something different, but the address for it.
Yeah.
Somebody log off, or is that?
That was Ludolf, or however his name is pronounced. I admit I'm not good at many vowels in a name.
Yeah, he was there for Datacrons. I think he may have just he went deafened, so he was probably doing something else. Came back and went, oh,
It's over.
Left. Yeah.
It's over. I'm the only one left. Adios.
Yeah, but so what kind of story do you think you guys would like to tell? The little bits of Carter's that I've read so far has mostly been like giving a slightly different spin on the character story. Is that pretty much right? Or I haven't read a lot of it, Carter, but
Yeah, that's fair assessment. I do have some original stuff I haven't shared,
okay.
but that's not really SWTOR. That's more original fiction.
Yeah,
That one day
think
I
it
will
would
publish.
be cool if we did, maybe if we wanted to describe our character's experience in story words, in a flashpoint, or if we wanted to just make up something tangential, like this is, when this was happening, this is what our characters were doing instead, or something like that.
I like maybe someone's bounty hunter is on the front lines of
The HoloNet.
The what's Alec? What's the planet that Duxon's on?
What?
What's the planet?
Onderon.
Onderon.
Onderon?
Onderon Duxon is a moon.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. Not Duxon. The SNV.
Oh, Darvanis.
Darvanis, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I know they're in a Kotfi chapter. The Alliance and the Mandalorians team up for some shit that happens on Darvanis. Maybe your bounty hunter is on the front lines of that because they aren't like your canon Outlander. Like, for example, if your Sith is like your main Outlander, maybe your bounty hunter spent 5 years roaming the galaxy, joined up with the Mandos, and now they're fighting our Darvanis. Just throwing that out there. Other ideas, I did like the Flashpoint idea a lot. Because there's a lot of ways you could spin all that together.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ignored story. You know, I mean,
Oh yeah,
like we all once you've run a flashpoint like 2 or 3 times, you're space barring through all that stuff because it's
yeah,
so like, oh my god, I've seen this, so many times. But there's a lot of interesting story in a lot of these
yeah.
flashpoints.
Or like the planetary arcs, or like a
Oh, planet arcs are
exploration
good,
mission.
especially now because the you know, well, back when I
You
was
you don't
leveling most of
have
my
to go and play all
characters,
those
you
now.
had to crank through the planets to keep up
Oh,
leveling, but
you're giving me
Yeah.
flashbacks.
now you don't. So
I,
I
I, I kind of like that I don't have to,
yeah,
but I
kind of
also
miss
miss
it.
it. I
I missed it because it was before level sync, and
I wish level
not
6
having level
didn't
sync
happen.
was amazing because it gave me incentive to not sit on fleet. So I always found myself helping lobies with flash points and
Yeah,
heroics and stuff like that.
yeah. I do not like level sync.
Like I get level sync and I think it's great for what it does, but I also think it's shit and they need to at the very least remove it in the PvP instant.
I like playing God on all the Lobi planets.
That's fair.
Yeah, level sync. Hmm. Like level sync was nice in that it made all the lower tier flashpoints viable when you progress past that point. But it also made it to where a lot of stuff is just
It's not a
yeah
challenge anymore.
Well,
yeah.
my issue with it is okay. You're a person, right? So you obviously struggle with stuff.
Or
You've killed a machine god. How is Trapjaw gonna give you issue? You know what I mean?
Why
You
is
killed
two
a
swarms of
literal
raccoons
god.
going to take you out when you've killed a machine god? But going off what Mike said, that is a large amount of story,
Yeah.
dialogue, and plot line left undigested by the average SWTOR player.
hmm
So I think that would be really fun to try and
and
morph that into like a short story or a handful of them, or like an ongoing series of, oh my god, why am I teamed up with you again?
What I would
that's
suggest
right. How
though
did I get stuck with you again?
is maybe you guys could do some story with the Dread War stuff, the Dread influence. I think that'd be neat to write around.
I do admit a small fascination with the Dreadmasters.
Yeah, I have to say it. That's really interesting because they teased that out, especially if you played from the very beginning. I mean, it was teased out so slowly. You know, with Eternity Vault. You know, you
Yeah.
just hear about them for the first time, and then like, there's nothing in Karaga's Palace really about them. And then
Oh.
so it's like 3 years later, and you're finally getting to the next story of it, and then it's like 3 years after that they get to the next story, and
Yeah.
so it really built over a
Builds.
long time, and sometimes it's hard to string it all together. You're like, what piece came here? What did we
I
find out
still
about
can't do
this?
that.
Because it's strung out over such a long period of time.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, one of the original concepts for the Dreadmasters is still on Tython.
What?
One of the Dreadmasters is on Tython.
95.
Hold up. I need more information.
I didn't know that one.
All right.
You can find a room where there's a Dreadmaster trapped in like a Kolto tank, and there's a bunch of people meditating around him. I forget which one it was, but he was like the least corrupted or whatever, and he gave up his mantle as a Dreadmaster to survive.
He's floating around on Tython, or is this in like a specific?
It's in the temple in one of the side rooms.
Wow.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
I mean, I could literally go there and show you it.
Huh.
I
I'm
need
on
to see this for
Pubside
my
right
own
now.
eyes, but
That's yeah.
I'm not putting my computer through SWTOR right now.
Okay, there you go. I just made an. Okay, I
Well,
just
that's-
made
fine.
another account. 1 second.
Oh, and then okay, like if we have Jedi characters that theoretically could get along or whatnot, there is that mission on Nar Shaddaa where you go and rescue the Jedi who turns out to be the dark side Jedi. I don't know. I now that I'm thinking about it, there's like a lot of story potentials for team ups. Anyway,
there's all the flashpoints. Yeah, there's lots of submission, story missions,
yeah,
planet missions.
yeah. I'm down for it all.
Heck, even the event missions, if you consider the event missions, oh, all the characters can race against each other.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You should have, or you should get an email soon with the link or whatever it is it sends you,
Right.
and it should let you in there. You should be able to add new stuff, and you should be able to make edits to the documents that are there. So the main request, I think, is if you do edits, do it in edit mode or in notes on the side.
I think that's commenting.
Comments on the side, yeah.
Editing's editing is actually like changing shit, and
Yeah.
you can't like see that it was changed. So comments or suggestions would probably be the way to go.
Oh, you know what?
Otherwise,
There is
words might have.
there's a drop down. Here, I'll do a screenshot for this. Where did it go? I'm just going to paste an image real quick in general chat.
Do it.
If you open any documents, you should see this little thing at the top, and when you click it, you can choose suggesting, where edits become suggestions. And if you do that, then let me just I'll pick something here.
It makes the text green, I believe, of what you suggest, and it crosses out what you replace, I believe.
Yeah, so I've just made a suggested edit for Carter's collection, and you can see that it writes it in green and strikes out the word she had and puts my word in green. So
I must go look now.
So that will allow you to do edits that then the author can come back, and if they agree with it, they can click a check mark and it'll put the edit in, or they can click an X and it'll take it out. And that just gives the author control over any changes, and it allows you to operate within the document to kind of do editing. And I think it works best if all of us that are doing writing are pure editing as well, because it just we're writing and editing at the same time, so it gives us a chance to provide feedback to everyone else that's writing, and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I'll be commenting, suggesting whatever the fancy words of whatnot are, as if it were my own, which means compliment sandwich. You compliment something, you put your suggestion, not just straight criticism, what's the word? Constructive criticism, followed by another compliment. Guys do not have to do that with me. You could just be like, what the fuck is the sentence? I don't understand it. I had to reread it 5 times, still don't get it, and I'll be like, same. I was tired when I wrote that.
Yeah, the other thing you do, you highlight a little section, and a little blue plus sign appears next to it, and you can add in a comment. And what I like about that is it just pops something next to it with whatever you highlighted, so you can basically say, hey, this couple of words or this phrase, this is what I'm talking about, and here's what I want to talk about. You know, I think you worded this wrong, or I think you could use different phrasing, or
Past 5 paragraphs all started with
or yeah,
this,
whatever.
this.
Yeah.
Perhaps make one of them start with something else, so it does not drag on the reader, but is a suggestion, not law.
Yep. So that's my suggestion there on how to operate within the documents.
If you have any questions, Mike and I are available with potential answers.
So were you able to get in, by the way?
I can see it. I can
Okay.
see your thing. I just need to.
All right. Just wanted to make sure access worked and everything. So.
Oh, yeah. I can see your uh paper for. Yeah. So. But is there something else, or was that the only thing that there?
Yeah. Right now it's just the 2 things that are in there.
Two things. I want to see one. 1 second. Maybe I should need to go to Drive rather than. Drive. Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't see anything else. I
I
only
thought I
see
was
the
gonna
one.
share you with the whole. I thought I was gonna share the whole everything in here with you, but I guess it just did one of them. Okay, that's a little annoying. I'll share the other document in here.
Maybe share the folder. Maybe.
The
Is
whole
it a folder?
drive?
Yeah, I thought I had done that actually. Like I started with the folder.
Hmm.
Did you see the whole folder, right click, share, and then put his email in?
Here's another one. Right.
Well, I thought that's what I did, but I'll try it again. You know.
So, one. This one.
If it doesn't work once with a computer, just try it again. Maybe it'll work the second time.
Yeah. It's not. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't work twice.
Oh, there we go. But no, no, this is the other view. Okay, yeah, so I don't see another. I didn't see a folder, but I did see this. Maybe anything else.
Yeah, there should be a folder with
Okay.
with you in there.
Wait.
Are you only seeing one file?
Jeez. 1 second. I just. So I keep trying to open everything with the on my phone, but it ends up opening it with my other account rather than my new, rather than the new one, because I'm already signing it into other stuff. Okay, there you go. Wait, no, this is the same.
It's pilot.
1 second.
Because I see you in on my page. Character. whatnot thing.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
There we go. Yeah, I see the folder now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can enter the folder now.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So feel free to upload things there. You know, I mean, I'll probably put some more folders under there for like, you know, first drafts, rough drafts, things that need to be edited, whatever. Kind of stage them through. But you know, for now, that's the starting point. So.
Okay, so just start doing. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, and if you want, you have a couple of things we have out there that you can read, and you know, of course, if you want to upload something later, that's fine too. And
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that we're gonna discuss right now, or is that it?
that's probably it. I think we have the idea of what we're going to go forward with. We'll probably, you know, I'd like to kind of give some time for this to, you know, develop a little bit, give some folks time to think about what direction they want to go and stuff like that. Get a few things written. I
Yeah.
figured we'll probably meet in 2 weeks. Not quite ready to meet every week on it, but I think 2 weeks would be good.
Yeah. And
Sure.
that will give me motivation to actually write.
And then
Instead of thinking about ideas.
in between, maybe, you know, I'm kind of I'm leaning towards the idea of either having us tell a story of a group of us going through the Flashpoint story, you know, just pick a Flashpoint, or the more complicated version would be try to pull together the Dreadmaster thread, which would be interesting as well. So that obviously is a lot more story to cover because it's, well, it's not necessarily more story, but it's just operations. But operations have very little story compared to Flashpoints. But they're bigger stories, so. With larger consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I personally would not want to write Terror from Beyond because 2 of the 5 bosses are
Behind.
about things giving birth.
Right.
And while that might be one of the devs' weird cup of teas, that is not mine.
True. But that could be a point where the main thrust of the story is
Now you're just getting
investigation
the
of the
weird
Dreadmasters,
chronology.
and you could just gloss over the, oh yeah, and there's also this weird space monster that did some weird stuff, and we had to ship him off into the, whatever that was, Hypergate or whatever.
The
Didn't we
great
just say? Didn't we just say that we said that another strike team went to take that one out? That way we don't.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Perfect.
Maybe we're the strike team that took out the Dreadmasters, and we called in a different strike team to take out the, whatever that
A
was.
many-pronged hit.
Sure, that could work.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know, the nice thing about writing a story is while it makes sense to use the foundation that's there, you don't necessarily have to strictly use every piece of everything that's there. Like, for example, yeah, why not have
Take a
multiple
hammer
strike
and
teams?
fix the cannon.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty, well, if that is it, I have a futon to go build.
Yep, that sounds good.
It finally arrived 2 days late, but I'll be, or no, 1 day late because there's no post on Sundays. Anyway, it has been a blast.
Yeah,
I
thank
shall
you
see
guys
you all
for
in
joining the group,
weeks.
and we'll meet about the same time in 2 weeks. I might move it like a little bit later. Just it's hard to judge when the datacrons are going to end, and I figured we'd probably just start about the time the datacrons end. That's a pretty good time. So
Works for me. Like, I think 7:30 would be a safe bet.
yeah, that's probably safe. Yep.
Okay, that sounds good. Just,
And then of
hopefully
course we
the
can
line-
also talk through the document portal as well if we have
Yes.
questions, and talk to either one of us on a direct message too is fine. So all right, well, thank you for joining.
All right, thank you. Thank you for hosting.
Alrighty.
I have had fun, and now that I know what we are expecting, I have a thing to brush up.
Sounds good.
All
I
right.
like it.
Hopefully,
Toodaloo.
yeah. Hopefully have something for you guys in 2 weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't force out writing if it's going to be like pulling teeth.
Yeah, it's
And-
this is definitely a low pressure project. It's nothing to stress over.
Writing
That's
should not be stressful. It should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it's
And even if it's, even if
Thinking
it,
is stressful.
yeah,
yeah,
don't
well,
worry if
if
it
I take my
becomes
time to clean it
stressful.
up, yeah, but if I take my time, I won't get it done. Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, at least when it comes to writing stories, yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
take forever.
Yeah.
Well, in that case,
Like-
you have a very tight deadline, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
All right. You guys have a great one.
Okay.
Uh,
yeah, you too.
Mike, I'll see you Friday for ball. No, I will not see you
No,
Friday for
I'm
ball. Pit.
sorry. I am out of town.
That is okay. I believe you have a very good reason.
Hopefully.
Yes. Also, don't worry about only like a few people showing up for an event at once. Because I know we only had like one other person. Just don't feel bad about it. Don't worry about it. Before I did ball pit, I did like a Friday SWTOR fun secret unlock thing, and I was lucky if I got 2 people, which is why I turned into ball picks and I could force people to participate. So don't worry about it. I'm sure eventually someone
Oh, I'm
will
not too
figure out
worried
what we're
about it.
doing and get curious and wander over.
Well, like I said, I would be thrilled just to spend an hour or 2 hours talking to you about stories. That'd be plenty enough for me. But, I figured I'd open the group up because I figured if I just did it with you, that's not fair for anyone who's actually interested.
That's true. Also, I read some of the stuff you sent over. The tragedy of Delilah the Wise.
Oh, right?
I had to share that one with Alec because there is the pun about how it's the dark side of magic that some consider to be unnatural.
Oh, that was I went back and watched the opera scene just to make sure I got it exactly correct.
Oh my god, I made Alec. Okay, it made Alec choke on his water.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you laughing?" I'm like, "Mike just killed me with humor. Let me read this to you." And
Yeah,
then
it was
I
really
also
good.
read.
It fits so well. I mean, just if you're not quite as familiar with that story, but I think if you were familiar with the story, like this really fits. This is kind of like right along
I
the
have
same lines there.
no.
So
I know nothing about the characters or
yeah,
anything,
yeah.
but I got the pun or the joke pun thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm digging this.
You
I'm
know
digging
exactly
this a lot.
where I was going. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
I enjoyed it. I browsed the others. There's another joke too in one of them. Hold on. Oh, I closed out of them. Drat. Which one was it? Hold on. I may have read them while I was eating.
I do tend to slide in a little subtle humor, so be careful if you're eating or drinking while reading my
So
stories,
I have learned that the hard way.
because you might accidentally bust out laughing. Yeah.
I mean, there are worse things. Okay, I read the practice one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't remember the names of them, so I'm all opening them again. I think I did the. Oh, is the Arcane Elements one?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that was like a perspective thing. That was like, man, if you just pick like a random NPC that you just walk by all the time, you know, and then you tell the story of what has been going on back and forth in front of that NPC. Like, what does he see all day? You know?
Yeah, like the fleet people who just like walk around like the vendors. Sometimes you get
Right.
like a little like a level 12 guy. Hi, I'm looking for some I think they're called mods or augments, and you get like a grizzled level
Right.
75. Hey, I need that new shit out here now.
Yes,
I'll set my droid on you.
that's right.
Oh, and then the
Exactly.
okay, it was the tagline on the baubles one. So there I was, hanging off the side of a moose, legs flailing uselessly behind me like a misshapen kite's tail. Um, I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
if you've read the
that was.
Spellslinger series. I think it's geared towards like teenage young adult, but not like the sappy romantic geared towards ladies
Mm-hmm.
young adult, but more like a tween, preteen, mid early teens teenager dude.
Uh huh.
Because there's very little flopsy mopsy girly shit in there. But it reminded me of the main character of that series. And it's like, so there I
Right.
was, hanging off the side of a moose, legs flailing uselessly behind me like a misshapen kite's tail. And as usual, someone was behind me trying to kill me. It had good vibes. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. Like I told you, I had just, well, I say read, but it's still the audiobook thing, so I'm really listening to someone read it to me, which I guess is kind of still reading. I don't know, but
I consider it reading.
yeah. So
I am not an authority on the matter.
I just read this book where Andrew Rowe creates this character that's basically kind of like a Zelda character that like goes through all these dungeons and stuff, and it's this kind of first person perspective type thing. Like, what am I doing here? You know, what is this stupid crap they got me doing? You know, another dumbass quest from a stupid old man. What is going on? You know, it was great.
Good. I'm currently I have many series I'm currently reading. Um, I'm trying to avoid the Terry Pratchett right now because that can get very long-winded, and whatever I write for like the next week becomes similar to what I had just read.
Ah, yeah.
So yeah, there's that, which can be good. Or then I turn into like Terry Pratchett-esque, and I'm like, how can I make a pun about the economy tied to a free sandwich or a free lunch relate to the launch of the spaceship? There's no such thing as a free launch. That has an actual pun he put in one of the books, and it made me throw the book across the room.
Oh boy.
I did apologize to the book afterward because I felt bad. Anyway, I have a futon frame to go put together so that Alec and I can say we are true adults with a couch.
Ah, I see. Yes.